All right, let's crush a question from this chemistry final exam review. This one says, what is the sulfate concentration of a solution prepared by dissolving 3 grams of sodium sulfate in 1 liter of water? All right, well, let's consider the reaction that's taking place here. So it's just a dissociation of Na2SO4. So we're starting with sodium sulfate, and that's just breaking up into sodium and sulfate ions. We're told that the charges on that's a 2- polyatomic ion, and this is a +1. There's 2 of them on this side. But this is the balanced equation for the situation. So we're going to have 1 mole of sodium sulfate, and then that results in 1 mole of the sulfate ion, which is going to be useful. They're asking for the concentration. So the concentration units are going to be moles per liter. So basically we have to figure out how many moles of SO4 are going to be in this 1 liter of water. So we already have 1 liter of water, so not a ton of calculation to be done there. But we're going to use dimensional analysis to get there. So we're told that we're starting with 3 grams of sodium sulfate. And again, my ultimate goal is to get to moles of SO4. So the solute is starting in 1 liter of water. And what we have to do here is change the 3 grams of sodium sulfate into moles of just sulfate. So our first step is going to be to get this grams of sodium sulfate into moles of sodium sulfate, and we'll do that by using the molar mass. So here is the calculation for the molar mass of sodium sulfate, which we're going to grab all of their atomic weights from the periodic table and do some multiplication and some addition, and we come out with a molar mass of 142.04 grams of Na2SO4 per 1 mole of Na2SO4. And so we'll see that our grams of Na2SO4 on the bottom cancels with our grams of Na2SO4 on the top. That's exactly what we're looking for. So now we're in moles of sodium sulfate over liters of H2O, but we want moles of just sulfate. So now we have to figure out a way to compare moles of sodium sulfate to just moles of sulfate. Well, that's useful because we have our equation here. It's a 1-to-1 ratio in the equation, so we're just going to put that there's 1 mole of sodium sulfate for every 1 mole of just sulfate, the sulfate ion. These are going to cancel. Now we have the exact units we were looking for. We have moles of SO4 over liters of H2O. Now all we have to do is multiply the stuff on the top and divide by the stuff on the bottom, and that should give us our concentration. So it's just 3 times 1 times 1 divided by 1 times 142 times 1. So basically just 3 divided by 142.04, which comes out to 0.02112, which I'm going to round to 0.0211 because our initial measurements have 3 sig figs, and this has 3 sig figs, and that's moles per liter.